Hey guys, what's up? This is Daz with Hyperlink Media. I also go by I go by Airtime Daz on a lot of the roller coaster like sort of social forums and things. But yeah, I've been a roller coaster fan for a long time, so I've always wanted to kind of sort of tinker with Thememaker's Toolkit, but it seemed like extremely complicated. So this is a quick and dirty way to spit out something for Thememaker's Toolkit using Cinema 4D. I was looking for a tutorial, I couldn't find any, so I said, hey, I make a tutorial, just even if it's just for my own sake, because I forget things. If I don't use it every day, I forget it and have to go back and watch. But anyway, so real quick and dirty, very, very simple with Cinema 4D. So let's get started. We're gonna quit Planet Coaster and we're gonna go here. All right, so we started it. We opened up a new scene. We're just gonna grab a cube. We're gonna make sure we're in meters, and if we're not in meters, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna go to preferences, and we're gonna wait for that to load. My Cinema 4D has been crashing lately, so hopefully I can make it through this. That's why it's so easy. So go over to units and change it to meters if it's not. So it has to be at least 0.5 meters and by 0.01 meters, I think. So this cube is 2 meters, so this is just a basic cube. So we'll keep it at that. We're gonna click this button to make this cube editable. But before we actually do any of that, we want a few textures. We want to change this to 256. This will be the size of the texture inside, and I'm just gonna get like a foreground, and I'm gonna put a few colors in here. I want like a white, a black. Well, just gonna check all of these. And a gray. Say, I don't know, about 50% gray. All of these should be named. We're just gonna call this cube, and so the material should also be named cube 2 when you apply it. Cube and cube. All right, so now we're gonna go into the render settings. I just want a few square materials, so we're gonna do PNG, and we're gonna send it to let's see, shapes, let's say tutorial. Cube. All right, so we'll put this in here. We'll just call this cube. The first one was called cube BC. This is the base color. So we're gonna take this foreground, we're gonna drag it here. We're gonna check that really. So now when you press render, you should have a white texture. So we have a white texture. I'm gonna swap this out with this one. I'm gonna say BC. You could say specular. No, we could say roughness, RN. So this will be the roughness. All right. Actually, this should have been the roughness, but it's okay. We'll just save this as something, another name. All right. Roughness. We'll just say AL for right now. Save. Okay, so now we have 3 textures. I'm gonna save my work. Shapes tutorial. All right, and I will return. Okay, and we're back, and so the rest of this is pretty simple. Okay, so we just have to make sure that the cube has a texture on it. We're going to get rid of this foreground because we've saved the textures already, but we just need the object to have a texture on it. So this is a very low poly object, so you can actually just make 6 copies of this. So you have to say underscore L0, capital L 0, and we're gonna make 5 copies of this. I'm gonna just say capital L because it's gonna give it a number after that. So click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. So we've got 5 level of details for this one object. So just gonna double click back on here and make sure it says, wait, okay, this is L5, this is L4, this is L3, this is L3, this is L2, this is L1, and this is L0. Okay, so we're gonna grab all of these and we're gonna save this as an XPF file. So I'm gonna go over here, file, export, XPF. Okay, so we're gonna call it cube.fbx. We're gonna save it in the same folder, and we're gonna save. All right, so we want the version 6.1. I'm not sure if any of the other versions work, but I'm just going by this one. So these are my selections here. Selections only. I want to add and save. Animation, I don't need any animation for this. And textures and material, yes. So all of this looks pretty good. So we're gonna say okay. All right, and we're just gonna save that. And for the most part, that's kind of it in Cinema 4D. So I'll be back. Okay, just a quick detour really quick. Here's a material information on how to texture your model. This is a very simple model, but I just kind of want to go for the look of, I think all models need a base color. And then I'm going to add a roughness to make it more shiny. And I'm going to add a F1 so we could change the color. But we can add an emissive to make it glow, a metalness to make it like a shiny metal, like a gold. But we're just going to stick with base color, roughness, and F1 right now. BCRN and F1. Okay, got it. So you could always come up to Thememaker's Toolkit, planetcoaster.com user guide, and they go into more detail of which ones could be used with what. Some of them are sort of conflict, so you can't use all of the all of these at the same time. yeah, the workflow is different. But at any rate, so yeah, I had to make that detour really quick, and I'll be back to finish the rest. Okay, I forgot one very simple but important part in Cinema 4D. This is the final time we're gonna be in here, I promise. I'm just gonna save this. We're gonna open up render settings. We're gonna frame a shot of this cube. We need a screenshot of the cube. Basically, we need a render of the cube. So I'm gonna check alpha channel, and I'm gonna put it in the same folder, but I'm gonna call it ICON, lowercase, and we're gonna save, and we're going to render that out. So now we have a picture of a cube, so that we'll have a preview of our object. So I'm gonna just save that again, and now we're done. We're done with Cinema 4D, so we could exit that. Okay, so now we have an icon file, we have a FBX, we have a base color, emission color F1, and a roughness. So we're gonna grab all of these, one, except for the emission. We're not gonna emit this time. F1, base color, and cube. All of these, I'm gonna right click, send to compress zip folder. And this is the zip file that you will upload to Thememaker's Toolkit, which is CubeZip and icon.png. And I'll show you how to do that when we return. Okay, so I've launched Planet Coaster. Now it's time to install this into our game. So to get to Thememaker's Toolkit, I'm just going to click Create Thememaker's Toolkit. Alright, and this should, if you're connected to Steam and all of that, this will bring up your items. These are the few of the items I've been playing around with, just simple items for my Wizard of Oz park. So I want to create a new item. It's a basic cube, and I'll call it basic cube. And I'm going to take my file from here, the cube.zip, and I'm going to drag it there, and I'm going to drag the icon here. Okay, scenery category, it could just be miscellaneous scenery. Theme, Planet Coaster is fine. Simple, and let's say price would be, I guess, $1. Running cost 0, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna change the flexi color so it will show up as this color when we bring it into the game, or maybe as representative it was gray, so we'll just select the gray. And now we're going to submit, and double check everything is okay, everything is filled out right, and we're going to click submit. Now it's going to go through the process of submitting or uploading, and if it's okay, it'll be placed in the queue, then it'll start building, and then hopefully you'll get the green thumbs up. If something went wrong, you didn't spell something correctly, or you had a period where there should have been no period, or something, something like that, just a regular mistake, you could just come in and quickly correct it without having to go re-render and re-send out a FBX. Just get the basic shape, and then get a with a texture with a UV map on it, and that happens automatically when you in Cinema 4D when you make an object editable, a primitive object editable. So makes it really simple. There's tons and tons of Blender tutorials, and that's really cool, but you know, it got a little bit complicated for me. I just wanted a simple cube, and it just took a lot of steps. So I thought that this was like a good cut and dry way to quick and dirty way. And you know, the texture could be other things. It could be bricks, it could be, you know, use your imagination. But if you just need a simple shape like this, you need the cube to be like a wall, you know, just bring the dimensions down so it's a thin wall, and that's it. So anyway, it's still in queue, so we're going to be back when we get the results of you know, this. So I'll be back. Okay, and we're back, and it looks like the submission was successful. It says complete. So we're gonna download the file that we're going to add to our Thememaker's Toolkit folder. And I'm just gonna grab this download and hover over. In mine, it's in Documents, Frontier Developments, Planet Coaster TMT. So it depends. I guess it depends on where you installed your file, but we're just going to drop that in there. And the next time we launch Cinema 4D, this should be available for us to place in our parks. Okay, so once you've installed your Toolkit file, if you haven't done so already, exit Planet Coaster and restart it so it could show up in your Toolkit items. These are a few of the items I was playing around with, trying to get animations right, and all of this is super simple. But we're going to check on our new friend, the basic cube. So we're going to go into Toolkit items. I'm going to grab the basic cube, and we're going to place it in the scene. It's just there she is. But you can grab this item and change the color to different color, and that's it. It's a shiny box. Well, not all that shiny, but yeah, that's it. So it's in your park. So that's it for this tutorial, and if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And until next time, I may do a quick tutorial on these simple animations. It's just a bone rotating. Basically, it's a bone rotating, and it was binded to this flat object with the texture on it. And this, similarly, there's a chain of bones going through, and it's sort of wiggling like they're gonna fall down. So yeah, that's it. All right, so till next time, bye.